As an accountant, Paul, I understand how important it is to have a P&L regularly for a business owner. How important was it for you in your experience growing a business, and how often do you think business owners should be viewing their profit and loss report?
Yeah, very good and very important question. And first of all, what is a P&L? When I started all those years ago, I remember being down the pub with some friends and they just sorted out some new accounting and they were talking about a P&L, which I didn't have a clue what a P&L was. So for those who actually don't know, because some people listen to this and not know, it's profit and loss. Anyway, I went off to the accountant and I said, look, they're talking about a single P&L, profit and loss. And the accountant at the time said, look, don't worry about it. So I sort of stumbled on for 5 years, basically not knowing where I was at. So profit and loss is just really taking a position every month or at the end of the financial year on what your profit and loss situation is. So, but what you do to be able to get in this situation, you've got to really tally up where you're at. Like for example, if it's the end of the month, you've got to work out your creditors and debtors and stock and take all those things into account and produce a report on the basically the health of your business that take into account what your turnover is, what your cost of sales are, producing gross profit and what your overheads are, and hopefully also tracking that against a budget. Now it's very important that you get that within about 10 days at the end of the month. Now, give me an example how that profit and loss would work, or a true example. I was trying to help someone out and they tried to get them to get a new account to get more structure in place, get a profit and loss because they're running Excel sheets and wouldn't have a clue. Anyway, they didn't take up that experience sharing and I bumped into them. They said, how are things going? I said, I just got my results for the end of the financial year and I made a loss of $10,000. Now, this isn't a business where they're turning work away and they're so busy. So where a profit and loss would have helped in the first month of that financial year, in that case it was April last year, if they got a profit and loss, they would have seen that perhaps that month they didn't make any money. So right then, 12 months ago, that they could make an educated decision on what to do with good data. You cannot make good decisions unless you've got good data. So in that case, it might have been only they're selling a product. It might have been that they only put their product above $1 and they wouldn't have suffered a loss 12 months later. So you can't go 12 months down the track and then find out I made a loss. You've got to be knowing every month where you're at. And if you're not getting that from your accountant, you either demand it or you go and get another accountant. And I'm going to talk about this a little bit later on. But you have to know where you're at every month to be able to make good decisions. And you've got to do it quickly. It's no use waiting 12 months or whatever.
Yeah.
So how often? Every month. Don't rely on yourself to actually determine the figures. Get your accountant to go through that profit and loss with you every month. And it just really is a valuable way, and they'll see things or tell you about things you don't
So
see.
don't do the grunt work yourself, but do
Don't
it to understand it.
You need to understand it.
Yeah.